I hear it all the time from new clients. They can't get their tax preparer on the phone. That's why they're coming to me. Let's talk about why that might be. Hi, I'm Alison Eddings. I'm a CPA in private tax practice with Top Dog Tax and Accounting. Welcome to my channel. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really does help more people see this content. So do your part to help everybody else become more informed consumers. So you're having trouble maybe getting a hold of your tax preparer. As I shoot this video, we've just come out of busy season as the tax season. It's still April. And I hear it a lot that when new people come to me, and I ask them why have you changed CPAs? They say, well, I can't get a hold of my preparer. There's a lot of reasons why. Some of them are red flags for the preparer. Some of them might be red flags for you. The first one we want to talk about is whether or not your tax preparer is seasonal, which means they only work during those 10 weeks out of the year. That's a big red flag. That is not somebody you necessarily want to be working with, because I imagine, and don't hold it against me if you're a preparer and you only work those 10 weeks, but people may be coming to a preparer to have insurance essentially against any potential communication with the IRS. And if that's you, and you're hoping that if, you might get a letter in, when do they usually come out? August, September, that you have somebody to go to with them. And if your preparer is only open 10 weeks out of the year, you might have trouble having resolution with that. So look for a preparer that's open year round. I'll put a link to my video on what the IRS says you need to look for in a preparer. And that's one of the things that they say to look for, somebody that's open year round. So assuming that your preparer is open year round and you're not able to get a hold of them on the phone or otherwise, I want you to take a minute and think, when you call the doctor, do you get your doctor? If you have an attorney, and I get that joke a lot, I know I'm a grown up because I have an attorney and a doctor and an accountant. If you have an attorney and you call him, I know I can't get my attorney on the phone. I email him. I would never text him. Oh my gosh. And I have a particular attorney that I've worked with a lot that's done some personal injury stuff for us from accidents we've had. And he's the best. And he's just always on top of things. And I know he's going to fight for me, but I wouldn't dare text him. No, because he might be with his family. He might be on vacation. But I'll call the office and leave a message, or I'll shoot him a quick email and say, hey, just let me know when you're free and we can have a chat about this. Because, even that, I wouldn't expect that from my doctor. And she's taken care of me for almost 20 years. I would never just expect to pick up the phone and talk to her. But I know she's there when I need her. And I know that if I call the office, I might end up having to talk to her admin, or, it's not an admin because it's her medical office. But, the message will be communicated and then disseminated and get back to me for what I need to do, even if I can't get in and see the doctor right then. It's the same with all professions, really. If you can't get your CPA on the phone, that doesn't necessarily mean you need to go running for the hills and find somebody else. Now, if you don't get any kind of response, if there's no way to get through to them, our procedure here is typically all questions need to go through other people first, because honestly, if you need to talk to me, it's usually billable time. But there's a lot of things that you might need to call the office for that's not a billable issue. I got a letter from the IRS responding, so somebody else from the office will handle that. It doesn't always have to be the CPA. So keep in mind, if everybody that was the client of your CPA had access to them at a moment's notice, that's like a concierge service, and that's expensive, and they exist, but it's not, it's definitely not my business model, and it's not the business model of a lot of people. I know some professionals that do that, and they're exclusively concierge, and they do exclusively a monthly subscription fee, and it's pretty high. So you can get that. It's out there. And we do have a few clients that are on that kind of a model. It's not terribly high, but it is like, they get a certain number of hours from us every month that they know that they can rely on. But just, give a call to the office and hopefully you'll get an admin or somebody that will answer your question. They don't always have to be answered by the tax preparer, the professional that's working for you. Consider too the time that you're calling. Most people, if they want to talk to me, if they want me to answer the phone, I'm more likely to answer the phone in August, September, October, November, maybe not October, November, December. Those are times that I don't let my phone roll over to the receptionist. But when it's busy, when there's, I've got work in front of me, and that's what you want from your preparer. You want them to work on your work that's in front of them. And if the phone rings, trust me, you want them to ignore that telephone and not stop the work, the mental work in reviewing your return or working on your tax minimization plan to answer the phone of the other guy. That's disrespectful to you to do that. So, it might just be that it's an expectation that you're not going to get them on the phone because they are actively working, and to you'd have to pay a lot to have somebody always ready to answer your phone call. The time of year too, like D-tax. It's a thing. Those of us in the profession, we don't detox, we detax. And we just have to walk away. And most of us try and find some place that we can just walk away and unplug for a week or two after the tax season, because it gets heady. And you really have to kind of, take that time away as well. To right now, this fourth week in April, we are looking at processes. We are seeing what went well, what didn't go well. If you're a small business owner, I hope you take the time to do that kind of thing too. So depending on the time of year, you might not be able to access your preparer just at a moment's notice like that. So don't discount your preparer. If you're happy with the work that they do, if they get back to your emails within, my rule, I like to get 48 hours, and sometimes that doesn't happen. But my goal is to answer all emails within 48 hours. But if you're content with their responsiveness in other ways, don't dismiss them just because they don't get on the phone with you. You might have a hard time finding somebody that is able to do that, drop everything to be able to make a phone call. So, also, consider the hours that you try and reach out to your preparer. Are you trying to call at 7 o'clock on a Tuesday? I don't think they're going to be available. Hopefully, it'll go to voicemail. Are you calling on a weekend and you're disappointed that they don't get back to you in 12 hours because you called Saturday morning? They're probably going to call you on Tuesday. Trust me, just like everybody else, Mondays are heady. So maybe it's the hours that you're trying to call. So don't be dismissive just because they're not available when you're available. That's can be a challenge too. And I appreciate too that a lot of my clients aren't necessarily available when I'm available to talk to them. So email often becomes a really good tool for communication, especially because then we can go back and look at it too. It's like you're writing my notes for me. And so that's a huge time saver, honestly, when we can communicate through email. Then I can go back and say, I see we spoke about this on that day, which is really great. So if this content was useful to you, if it was helpful, if it was encouraging, if it was, anything you think somebody else might be interested in watching, I really would appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel, if you would like the video, if you would share it with others. That would mean the world to me, and it would also help this content get pushed out to more people. Thanks so much. Have a great day.